pressure driving a car that won championship last
Probably
night.
not any at all, I would think.
Take a look at it. The pace car comes off the racetrack. The lights are off. All now in the hands of Justin Marks. He is our pole sitter, and he will get this, the 45th running of the ARCA 200 underway. Green flag in the air.
See, the 27 of Kurt Shelmerdine was in the 4th row. Outside the 4th row, he got a very poor start.
Good start for Scott Speed and Justin Marks as they put about 8 car lengths between them in the 2nd row.
We're going to argue over space for a little while and stay side by side, you know, before we get in that draft.
They'll get up to speed, and then we'll see some single file lines, but we'll also see some 2 wide here at Daytona.
It's all Toyota front row. Justin Marks, it's the 65 and the 2 of Scott Speed.
You had mentioned a little bit slow on the start at the beginning of this race. Let's take another look at what took place at the beginning.
See some cars there, lock the brakes up. That was where the tire smoke came from.
Trying to get up through the gears, obviously stay with the pack, but some got up through the gears quicker. And now we see Scott Speed out in front of this field. Justin Marks will be running 2nd. Bobby Gerhart 3rd, Michael Annett 4th, and Max Dumoulin in 5th.
Yeah, you can actually see how rough this racetrack is in certain areas. You can see the cars bouncing around as they went through turns 1 and 2.
I think high definition points that out even more, as you can definitely see the waviness of this racetrack.
And you see that yellow line when we come here to Daytona and Talladega, that is out of bounds. You cannot improve your position below that yellow line. That's something the ARCA Remax officials will be watching this entire race, Kenny.
They'll be watching that very closely. It's just they want to keep that out of bounds, because when you're underneath there and you get to the turn, it creates havoc before you can get back up. So that's a real good rule.
Lap times now have dipped below 50 seconds. We're getting a little bit closer to what the speeds they were running in practice now as everybody's up to speed.
We have to remember that probably 80% of these cars ran Daytona or Talladega last year as a Nextel Cup car. So the caliber of equipment is just phenomenal.
There's Dexter Bean right there in the Team Glock car.
Brian Silas on the inside of him. You had mentioned Dexter Bean, obviously in the 37. A lot of ARCA Remax fans would say, well, wait a second, I thought Dexter Bean was in the 6. That was a number change for him. And look at right in front of him.
Great outside draft right there. Justin Allgaier, the 16, was being pushed by Brian Scott in that 75 car, making some nice moves on the outside.
Jim Trano, what's happening with the 37 team?
Well, the car is very good in traffic, according to Dexter Bean. He said, I can't wait to get this car out on the racetrack and not a single car runs. Kenny, to your point, this is the same race car that Mark Martin was 2 feet shy of winning last year's Daytona 500 in.
That's why I said a tremendous amount of equipment. Now we're trying extremely hard to eliminate some of that good equipment right here.
3 wide.
Yeah, if the next couple laps could be exciting here.
Right in the middle there, that's J.R. Hefner that's in the 39, and he's bounced around quite a bit. Now he's going to have to check up because the 93 is going the wrong direction. That's Pierre Bourque.
Yeah, he has seized up that center lane right there for a little bit. Mario Gosselin's on the inside of him now in the 21 car. Very
close there as we saw that 39 move out in front of the 60 of Patrick Sheltra. Now they go 2 by 2 once again.
You know, the ARCA Remax competitors had a very clean week, with the exception of that one incident we saw, Kenny, that was at the very beginning of happy hour with your car, Bill Baird, the 52 and the 99 at Ricky Stenhouse. I think we had one little minor spin the entire time during practice.
We also didn't have a ton of drafting practice, and drafting practice when they're out there with 8 or 10 car groups is nothing like this. This is their first on hands for a lot of these guys, and it'll be a little stressful.
That's Brian Scott right there in the middle, and that number 75, you see him wiggling around. These cars look to be a handful for these drivers today.
See Mario Gosselin move by on the inside of J.R. Hefner. Ooh, there's some contact right there.
Allie Owens in the 12 gets turned around. There's some contact as they came through the tri-oval. She is going to slide into the grass. Doesn't look like she'll touch anything there. That will bring out caution number 1 here at Daytona.
You see the roof flaps deploy when she got turned around. That keeps that car down on the ground. She did a nice job not making any contact with inside wall. See, Allie gets her car right and heading back towards the racetrack.
Flat, couple flats. What happens when these things get to wobbling? Now she got pushed down a little bit, which made her go back up a little bit. And when she got back up, she got into that black car, and then that's it.
But it's nice to know all that asphalt's down there, isn't it, Kenny? You don't want those cars sliding through the grass as much. That asphalt really helps keep these cars on the ground.
They slow down on the asphalt. They don't slow down at all on the grass.
You see the contact right there with the J.R. Hefner car, the 39. Remember, she's running 180 miles an hour when she starts that spin. Going to see a good view of it right here. She's going to duck below that 39. Kind of wobbles up into him a little bit. Then tries to keep her car off of him, turns it left, and loses control on the inside.
They actually went a couple more laps than I anticipated after watching the first couple
the
laps.
way that one started, it looked like it was going to be hairy. You see, it looks like the left front tire is flat for Allie Owens. She'll bring that car onto pit road. They'll check it over before they send it back out onto the racetrack. It's the first caution of the day from Daytona International Speedway, and the ARCA REMAX 200 getting underway. Coming out of the trial of the 12 of Allie Owens gets turned around.